name is Ardiani, and today I would like to tell you and explain quite a bit about experimental research design. But before I explain it to you, do you know about experimental research? Or have you ever heard about experimental research design in your daily life? Or have you ever created or construct your own experimental research design? Okay, let's get to the point. Okay, first we have to know about some important things about experimental research design. But I have some terms that are related to experimental research design. And there are two terms. The first one I have two terms. The first one is variables, and then the second one is sampling. And then we can divide variables into independent and dependent variable. And then the next we have sampling. The second one is the important things that are related to experimental research. And in the sampling we have participants, are involved and included in the experimental research. And we can divide participants into experimental groups and control groups. In experimental groups, this is the groups that are given treatments in experimental research. And then the second one, we have control groups that we can give them treatments or we can have no treatments for them.
Good.
Okay, you have understood about the experimental research key terms or keywords that are related. And then the next, we can define about experimental research design. Well, what is experimental research design? Okay, let me tell you and explain about it quite a bit. Experimental research design is a collection of research design which use manipulation and controlled testing to help us to understand about the causal processes. Okay, I will repeat it and give you some keywords about it. Experimental research design is, the first one is we use manipulation and control testing, which help us to understand the causal processes. Okay, and then the next, we have three types of experimental research design. The first one is the pre-experimental research design. And then the second is the quasi-experimental research design. And the third, we have the true experimental research design. Okay, let me explain about it quite a bit again and again. The first one, we have pre-experimental design. As the name pre, it means that the basic stage or step of something. So it means the pre-experimental design is the most ordinary or particular type of design of experimental research. And this is almost used in descriptive studies. This is why we have this design on descriptive studies as the basic or the most simple experimental research design. And I have three characteristics of this design. The first one is there are no random assignment of participants, and then the second one is there are no control independent variables, and then we have control groups. The first one is about the pre-experimental research design, and the type that was used in this design is the pre-test and post-test only. And then the second one, we have the quasi-experimental research design. The quasi, or quasi, in Latin, it means almost. So we can define the quasi-experimental design is almost appropriate design to use or to be applied in experimental research. And then I have three characteristics of this design. The first one is there is no random sampling. And then the second one, no control independent. Okay, I will make an application. Independent variables. And then the third is no control groups. And then the most type or the dominant or the most familiar from this design is the non-equivalent group designs, which we can control the independent variables. And in the last, we have the true experimental research design. The true, we can define it as the real or almost appropriate to be applied in experimental research. And then this true experimental design have three characteristics, and the first one is this design using the random sampling. And then the second one, they are control groups. And then the third is controlled independent variables. So from this characteristic, we can conclude that this is the real or most or the appropriate design to use in experimental research design. So in conclusion, experimental research design is the collection of research design which use manipulation and controlled testing to help us to understand about the causal processes.